Thank you, Reverend Thompson.
Okay, Bill.
Thank you, Reverend Thompson. I'm sharing my screen now. Can everyone see that?
Yes.
This is the report for the month of July. Our income was about $25,000 compared to a budget of $36,000. The shortfall of $11,000 was due to lack of public meeting income, less grant money, and member dues. Our expenses, rolling down to the bottom, were about $1,000 below the budget for a net revenue shortfall of around $10,000 for the month. And that's been covered by a transfer from reserves. Then looking at the whole year to date, net income was about $83,000 compared to a budget of $152,000. The shortfall of $69,000 was due to a lack of public meeting income and a lot less grant money. But this was expected. Individual contributions were almost $10,000 above our budget. Our expenses were about, let's roll down to the expenses. Expenses were about $10,000 over budget for a net revenue shortfall of around $80,000 for the year to date. Our assets in the bank at the beginning of the year were $366,000, and at the 1st of August were $283,000. Our budget for the year anticipated using $90,000 from reserves to balance the budget, primarily because of pauses in major grants. I think we're on track to do that, but we do need our member organizations to pay their dues, and we need to have a successful fundraiser this fall. Also, this Sunday, we need a strong appeal for donations during the Day of Power and Prayer event. Remember, our power comes from organized people and organized money. Are there any questions? Hearing none, that completes my report.
All right, thank you, Bill. I want to thank Irvin for pointing out about our minutes with the minutes that we approved were the last month minutes. And Reverend Ford, did we post the June's minutes?
Both of the June and July minutes went out in an email.
Oh, okay.
With links to those minutes.
Okay, that was the July meeting. I do want to now, I asked for the July meeting minutes. So at this time, I would like to officially approve the June's minutes. If anyone had those who had opportunity to peruse those minutes, we'll take a motion at this time that they also be approved.
My name is Honey with SEIU. I make a motion we approve June's minutes, Mr. President.
Okay, thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
It's been properly moved that we'll approve the June's minutes. All in favor, just raise your hand. None minutes are approved. So we approve the minutes for June. At this time, I'm gonna ask that Ron and Regina, we have something that we will be beginning to do, but I'll let them explain it more. We have a special presentation, one of our working committees. So campaign coordinating committee, known as CCC. But I'm sorry, but right before then, I do want to do our power and prayer first, and then the CCC presentation will occur. So at this time, I ask for the person on our education task force who are initiating this day of power and prayer, to again, just make a personal appeal again for our attendance. Brian, who will be making that appeal?
Thank you, Reverend Thompson. Lynn Hoyt is on tonight with us to talk about the Day of Power and Prayer. So Lynn, if you're ready, if you want to just kind of let everybody know where we're at, what this is about, and I'll follow you up.
Thank you. Can everybody, I hope, hear me and see me? My name is Lynn Hoyt. I am the co-chair for the Education Task Force State Funding Committee with Dave Zielinski, and we have been working hard to finalize this Day of Power and Prayer. It will be held this Sunday at 2 p.m. Central Time. I do want to make a big old shout out to the Education Task Force and our sister organizations, Micah and Caleb, and the National Gamaliel, who are really helping bring our issues statewide with some really amazing tech support and bringing this as a state lens, because we need voices from all over the state to be able to move our state legislature. So this event is going to be hybrid, online and in person. The live event in Nashville is going to be held at McKendree United Methodist Church at 523 Church Street, starting at 2. There is free parking offered, and masks and COVID protocol will be followed. And each of the locations will feature a personal testimony. Hamilton County is going to focus on social workers, Memphis on school counselors, and Nashville on nurses. And again, the entire event will also be streamed on social media. So you do have a choice to come, in person here in Nashville, or be online and watch. Hopefully somebody is dropping the link into the chat so you can see. We want everyone to register your attendance either in person or online. And so, this has come together because Tennessee should be leading the nation in the physical, mental, and emotional well-being of our children. This is because it's state level advocacy. We join together with our sister organizations. I appeal to all of you to log on, watch, get the numbers, because we're asking you to join this Day of Power and Prayer on August 15th to help bring the power of our numbers and our shared spiritual values to this fight for our children. It is very, very important that we all make it just like a public meeting. We're going to make an effort and log on and watch and listen to the appeals of our sister organization and of Nashville to ask our state legislature to step up. And that is my ask. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian.
Awesome. Yes, thank you, Reverend Lester, and thank you, Reverend Thompson. Thank you, Lynn. I did want to review some of the commitments we made last month. Some people were here last month and some maybe are not here, but we just want to walk through these again real quick. And before I do that, I just want to reiterate what Lynn said, and Kim dropped something in the link in the chat there. It's a link. Just so you know, this link, that if you click on it, you'll see that there are two ways to register. You can register either for the virtual or the in-person. I just want everybody to know, if you want to register for the virtual, make sure that you, I'm going to drop this. I'm going to make this easy for you real quick. If you want to register for virtual, sorry, that was a little premature on getting the commitments up. I'm going to put this in here. Do this. You can just copy that, I think. bit.ly. Sorry, that's wrong. You can just copy that, put that in your browser window, and that will take you to the virtual registration page, and you will be good to go. If you can join us in person, please go to the other link that Kim just shared with you. So now let's go ahead and get back to those commitments. And maybe when we're done with that, if there are questions, we can take a minute and answer some questions. So Amita, is Amita in the house tonight?
Yes, 5.
5, all right, all right. Thank you, Reverend Wiggins. Anna Weem, do you guys already have your 5?
You talking to me?
Oh no, Anna Weem, I think,
Mute.
Irene?
Okay, yeah, I had to unmute. I was talking.
All right.
No, I have not yet. I'm sorry.
All right.
I've had kind of a crazy month. And we didn't meet this past Tuesday when I thought we were going to meet and I could bring it up.
Well, there's
I will
still
try to-
time.
Yeah,
You
I'll
still
try to
have
get
time,
an
Irene.
email out.
Thank you.
I'm so sorry.
We gotcha. We gotcha. You still have
Okay.
time. Beach
Okay.
Creek Baptist.
Yes, we're gonna up that number to, we know exactly 10 and then 10 more people to 15 more people
No, wait a minute.
have said they
Okay.
would.
All right. So 15 altogether.
25.
25. There. That's what I'm talking about. There we go. All right.
That's great.
Belmont United Methodist.
Yeah, I think we're still good for 25.
So good for 25. Okay. Thank you. Christ Cathedral.
We're still good for 20.
So good for 20. All right. Clark Memorial. We're gonna work on getting some more Clark rep. Do we have Clark in the house? I guess I should.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
we do. Okay, we got, Yellow got 5. Let's work for some more.
All right. What does the new number look like?
Huh.
You want to say 10?
I'll aim for 10, but yeah.
Okay. Great. 10. All right. Thank you. Is Community Relations of the Community Fund, Jewish Federation, are you guys available tonight?
Brian, I don't know if anyone else is on the call. It's Avi. I know
Yeah.
it was blasted out to the entire Federation community.
Okay. I think Rabbi Schimberg is on.
Yep. So I'm sure that we have 5 at least.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Rabbi Schimberg
Sure.
and Avi. Downtown Prez, are you guys with us? We have to work on Downtown Prez if they're not here tonight.
Skipped over Congregation Micah.
Did I skip over? Man, I am sorry, Congregation Micah. Please state what you got, please.
Again, Brian, it's Avi. I don't know the count. I know Brandy, our Director of Social Justice, sent it out broadly to our
Okay.
social justice circle and the whole congregation.
Okay, great. Thank you, Avi. Downtown Prez. Inglewood Christian Church.
It's Eastwood Christian.
Eastwood, sorry, y'all. It's right there with you, Irene. Eastwood Christian,
Yeah, I'm gonna keep that at 15.
15, all right.
Another event that day, so it's a little difficult, but yeah, we're gonna shoot for that.
Thank you, Martha. And then we've got Edgehill United Methodist.
20.
20. Thank you. Said like Israelic. Thank you. Episcopal Diocese of the Beloved Community.
Hi, yeah, we'll keep that at 25. It's been communicated and I think we can meet that goal.
Okay, fantastic. We've got 15th Avenue Baptist.
We do, yes, 15.
15, okay, thank you. First Unitarian Universalist.
We're gonna hold for 30 still.
Awesome. I know you can do it. Friends of Friend.
3 still.
Okay, thank you, Reverend Thompson. Glendale Baptist.
We've had good promotion. I'll commit to 5, but hope for 10.
Okay, all right. Push on through.
Okay.
Gordon Memorial. All right, Greater Bethel. Greater Nashville UU.
We're sticking with 5.
Stick with 5, all right. Howard Congregational.
We know this is going the wrong way, but at the moment I cannot commit to anything.
Okay.
So, but we're working on it.
All right, Jean. Thank you. I'll get in touch with you. We'll see if we can find a plan.
Okay, thanks.
Kairos Ebenezer.
Same 15.
All right. Thank you, Duana. Lee Chapel AME.
Same 10.
Okay, thank you. MNEA. I got to talk to MNEA. They should definitely be there. Metro Interdenominational.
We're holding at 20.
Holding at 20. Okay. All right. Shirley, if you wanted to bump that up, you can.
That's okay.
Okay. All right. 20. All right. That's great. Naaman's Retreat.
Same.
Okay. Thank you. Napier Luby Bar Association. Okay. Nashville District, AME. New Covenant Christian Church. Open Table. Organized Neighbors of Edge Hill. Payne Chapel. Safer Schools Nashville. I'm just kind of moving quickly here, so if I skip over you, please say something. Safer Schools, Second Presbyterian.
Hold it 10.
Holding at 10. All right. SEIU, Local 205.
Hey, Brian, sorry, I had to jump on. Yeah, let's, we'll stick with there. We're working hard with folks in Memphis and Chattanooga and Nashville. And
Awesome.
Honey on here is going to help me. So that's a great goal.
Honey on there. Awesome. Awesome, y'all. Thank you. Great. Spruce Street Baptist. St. Anne's Episcopal. St. John AME. St. Vincent's Catholic Church. The Temple.
You can leave us at 10.
Can leave you at 10. All right. All right. Village Church.
5.
5. Okay. Thank you, Sean. West End Synagogue.
Well, we've got 15 right now. We're still working on it, hoping to get 20 to 25.
All right. All right. I know you can do it, Kitty and Shayna. You guys are a powerhouse. West Nashville Dream Center.
Unfortunately, we're still holding at 1 right now, but we're going to see if we can get some more people.
Okay. Is that TJ?
No, actually, it's Evangeline.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Good. All right.
You skipped West End United Methodist.
Gosh, thank you. How did I do that? West End United Methodist.
We'll keep it at 15.
Okay. And Word of Life Christian Center. Anybody on tonight? Okay. And thanks, everybody. We also have Brentwood and we have Temple Baptist. I saw some representatives from both places on tonight.
Yeah, for Brentwood, we'll stay at 5. We've broadly promoted it, but 5's probably good.
Okay.
Stay at 30, Brian.
All right, Rutherford. All right. We will. Thank you. And is there anybody else there? Did we skip anybody, any organization or any individual?
Yeah, Brian, St. Augustine's Chapel, you can add 10.
Thank you, Reverend Francisco. I don't know how we did not include you. Okay.
No worries.
We'll do that. Okay. Okay, you guys, this is the Education Task Force's big thing. And I think NOAA is really investing a lot in this as well. So we are really looking forward to you guys keeping your energy up. Our energy is way up. So we just need to keep it going, push on through. It's going to be an awesome event. It's a big thing. We're going to follow it up with a lot of work after this too. So thank you, everybody. We'll see you on Sunday.
All right, thank you, Brian and Education Task Force. At this time,
But I have a question, just a minute.
yeah.
If we go to McKendree, is there parking? How is that situation?
There is parking, and I'm going to drop some instructions in the chat for you. There's free parking. And so just keep an eye on the chat and I'll get that to you in just a minute.
Okay, I might walk, but just in case.
Sure.
Okay, thank you. At this time, I'm going to ask if on our campaign coordinating committee, Ron and Regina, it's your time at this time for this presentation.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Ron and I thank you for this opportunity and this time to make our presentation. We've all seen how NOAA has grown, and we are very proud of the impact of a larger group of organized people and organized money can have on the coordinated work that we do. But along with this growth has come questions. Questions about who NOAA is, how NOAA functions as an organization, what the organizational structure of NOAA looks like, what the role of NOAA's leadership and staff is, and who makes up the NOAA staff. So in the interest of clarity and transparency, Ron will come with some slides that we put together to present an overview and a sort of, and I put that in quotes, where do we go from here, preview. So Ron. Can you hear me?
No, Ron is muted.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, everybody. We appreciate this time that you're giving us, and we just want to, as Regina said, provide sort of a background for what NOAA is. So we're going to start like this. The purpose of this presentation is to review the overall structure that guides NOAA's work in the community. As our organization grows and gains visibility in the city and now in the state, it's easy to lose sight of the fact that NOAA is, as its very name emphasizes, a committed group of members organized for action and committed to achieving in a purposeful and strategic manner the ideals that its hope leads it to strive for. As passionate and dedicated individuals commit their time, talents, and energy to accomplishing these hopes, we often assume that everybody knows how NOAA works. We all know about assumptions, and we also know that sometimes we lose sight of the forest because our attention is so focused on the trees. So we want to take just a few minutes this evening and review the structure that holds NOAA together and empowers us all to work as effectively as we can for the hopes of social justice and fairness. First of all, NOAA is really not a standalone, all by itself group of social justice warriors. We are affiliated with the Gamaliel National Network, founded in 1986, to train community and faith leaders in building political power and creating organizations that unite people of diverse faiths and races. There are 43 affiliates in 14 states, and now our own state of Tennessee, we have 2 sister affiliates. First of all, we have Caleb, Chattanoogan's In Action for Love, Equality, and Benevolence, and Micah, Memphis Interfaith Coalition for Hope and for Action and Hope. This diagram represents the various components or groups that NOAA comprises. NOAA is essentially a joining together of member organizations, various houses of worship, labor unions, and a few other coherent groups. And from the individuals in those member organizations come all of the rest of our structure. A representative of each member group constitutes the board of directors. The board elects the officers of the organization, and as Robert's rule stipulates, the president, in collaboration with the other officers, then appoints various committee chairs, thus completing the executive committee. Hired by the executive committee, our professional staff ensures the continuity of our work through its attention to daily tasks and needs. And the task forces, individual volunteers from our member groups, actually carry out the work of social action and justice in specific and concrete ways. A relatively new segment in the structure is the Campaign Coordinating Committee, created to facilitate NOAA's continually speaking in the community and state with a single voice, and facilitating collaboration and cooperation among the task forces when such joint efforts will support and further their specific goals. What does NOAA do? Someone not active and engaged in NOAA's work, but curious about us, might reasonably ask this question. An outside observer would be able to see this visible evidence of NOAA's engagement in the community. First of all, there are public meetings held annually, and our issues convention held at 3 or 4 year intervals. At these large open meetings, we set the specific agenda that we will pursue for the next year, the next term. At our monthly members meetings, we engage in various activities that enable us to monitor our progress toward meeting the long-term goals. And finally, smaller organized groups of volunteer members carry out the work of implementing that agenda. One of the messages from our most recent annual meeting was a call for more transparency and clearer communication, both within NOAA and from NOAA to its members and constituents. We're working to improve our access to our structure via our website, and to improve intra-organization communication, we have added the Campaign Coordinating Committee. As I said, this committee comprises the co-chairs of the 4 task forces and IVE and 2 co-chairs. The primary responsibility of the committee, again, is to ensure that NOAA speaks with a single voice in its actions in the community. This diagram does not represent or indicate some kind of hierarchical decision-making structure, but rather a respectful and responsible pattern for flow of information about different aspects of our organization's work. One of the major challenges any primarily volunteer organization faces is responding purposefully and effectively to the various needs and various levels of needs that fall within its purview, a kind of balancing act that NOAA has prepared for by vigorous and ongoing strategic planning. We operate with a set of guidelines that were articulated by our founders and continually monitored and updated through strategic planning. And within those parameters, and by continually referring to those guidelines, we make decisions about how we can most effectively take action to support reaching those goals that we hope to achieve. That structure and those principles that I've often referred to this evening are not often seen by the curious outsider who inquires about how NOAA works. We have in place all of the elements listed on this slide and other complementary components not named here. Even those of us on the ground in task forces can easily lose sight of the basic structure, which in fact empowers us to engage in the important work of social justice. The executive committee is the group responsible for the legal and financial obligations that allow us to operate as a legitimate licensed nonprofit organization in the state of Tennessee. The professional staff focuses on the development of NOAA leaders and issue areas, as well as giving attention to daily tasks and needs. And different groups within the organizations have contributed documents that provide specific and concrete descriptors of important elements of what we do. This presentation has admittedly been an overview, a broad strokes depiction, a skimming of the surface of Nashville Organized for Action and Hope. All from a primarily organizational perspective. What we propose is that in the months to come, we devote a similar amount of time to explore some of these elements in more detail. Some of the more obvious elements appeared in red in the slides. You may have noticed that there were some things that that were in color. And if this proposal is acceptable to you, we will continue to deepen our understanding of who makes decisions in NOAA and how those decisions are made in the coming months, and to verify that that is the wish of the organization. I think Mike has a Zoom poll that we can take right now.
We just launched the poll. This is a very simple one. You get to say yes or no. Do you want to do what Ron has proposed to us, that we have some very short, deep dives into NOAA and how we work? So if you would, just go ahead and click on either yes or no.
I'm loving these numbers, I'll tell you.
All right, this is the first poll I've ever done. So can you all see it as it's going along? Can you all see that?
Yes.
Okay.
No,
I don't see anything.
I don't see anything.
Okay.
I think
I was able to vote, but then it's done.
Okay.
I was able to vote, but we don't see anything tabulating.
All right, we'll try now. I just ended the poll, so you should be able to see it now.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Can you all see that?
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like 98% of the folks on the call want to do this kind of deep dive occasionally in our monthly meetings. Thank you. Thank you, Ron and Regina.
Thank you.
Yes, again, we want to also personally thank our campaign coordinating committee. So we'll be looking forward to next month. So they'll get to work at this present time to present to us next month. So again, thank you for a great job. And And I believe we learned a lot from this presentation. And I must say, Ron and Regina and the campaign coordinating committee have been working hard for the last several months, more than a year now, in doing the work of this special committee. And again, we thank you. At this time, we're going to ask if Mike, if you would get ready for us to go into our task forces and our IBE breakout session. And again, we're gonna still try to end roughly at 7:40. You losing approximately about 5 minutes, but we're gonna still try to end at 7:40. So you can go ahead, Mike. And
all right. You all that have registered ahead of time, like if you registered by about 5:30, I've been able to load into the system which breakout group you wanted. So I'm going to open those in a minute. And if there's anyone that does not go to the proper breakout group, just hang on and I'll get you there. So I'm opening all the rooms now, and you should see a little box pop up that says you've been invited to a certain breakout room. So please accept that. And while they're doing that, looks like there's 19 of you that did not register before 5:30. So I know where some of you go, like for instance, Paulette Coleman, I believe, goes to affordable housing. Brian Zrolick better go to education. Sean Whitzel would go to criminal justice. Reverend Lester, where do you go? Education? Reverend Lester? Okay, Reverend Lester just went to education. I've sent him there. Mark McIntyre, where do you want to go?
Education.
All right. Betty Lickstein?
Education.
All right. Kimberly Lanier?
I'll go to criminal justice. Thank you.
Sure, thank you. Lynn Hoyt is in education. Haley Trussler?
Affordable housing.
All right. Daryl Hill?
Affordable housing.
All right. Phyllis Sells would be education, I believe.
All right.
All right. DeWanda Wade would be education, I believe.
Correct.
Wanda Clay, I think you're affordable housing. Does that sound right?
Yes.
Doug Lucas, I'm not sure where you'd like to go.
Education.
All right. And Lily Wiggins?
Housing. Affordable
Okay.
housing.
All right. Renee Kastman?
IBE, please.
All right. And Sally Woodard? Sally, I'm not hearing you. Can you tell me where you want to go? Hello, Sally. Okay. Maybe she'll tell me in a moment. That should be everyone. If there's anybody that's not sure where you're supposed to go. Steve, where do you want to go?
I'll go to education.
All right, give me just a second to get you there. Let's see.
Sorry, my phone got stuck. Sorry.
All right. All right, Steve, I'm going to have to move you to something else because you evidently didn't accept it when I came. So I'm going to move you to affordable housing. And when you get there, just come right back. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Now, Ms. Woodard, Sally, where did you want to go?
Oh gosh, I think I selected criminal justice.
All right. Well, we'll send you there, and all you got to do is click on the little box that pops up and accept it.
Okay, perfect.
All right. Okay, Steve, are you back?
Yes, thank you.
All right.
I didn't see the box. I do now.
All right, let's see. Let me, you said education, is that what you said?
Yes, thank you.
All right, I've just sent you there.
Do I hit a box?
Yeah, you should have a box.
Okay.
I'm a little unclear on how it works on an iPhone.
This is really bizarre. Hey, Avi. Not quite sure what's
You're
going
the star, Arlene.
What?
You're the star. It's all about you.
Wait, what do you mean?
You're what I see on my screen.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I see Avi and
Yeah, I exited my affordable housing.
yeah,
meeting.
so did I. So did we. So we don't know what's going on.
Let's see.
I'm,
Oh, there we go. There's a
I meant
gallery.
to unmute and I exited. Ah,
I think Mike's having a little bit of a problem. Hey, Sean. Here we go. Hey, Mike, that felt like a science fiction movie.
Why?
Oh, well, I left and then I was back and then
Oh,
I left and then I was back and then other people were coming in and then they were leaving. It was a little strange.
well, I hope they
I
weren't.
feel the same way too, Arlene, because I was talking to Mike when I was swooped away.
Yep.
Okay, we want to welcome everyone back, and we want to start our reports from our task forces and one of our working committees. I will first call on the affordable housing. We hope each can keep your reports to 3 minutes. Affordable housing.
Let's see, Shirley, did you want to make a brief report, or Martha? Would one of you all like to sum up what we did and what we decided?
I can. The first thing is that with Oracle and their plans to build a big complex on the East Bank, that for one of our action steps is for us to attend the meetings about their plans and to push affordable housing, because that wasn't something that was discussed in the planning meetings. The only time it was discussed when we brought it up. Then the second thing, that River Chase Apartments. This past weekend, there was a canvassing of the River Chase Apartments to the residents that live there. River Chase Apartments is in East Nashville, off of Dickerson Road behind the Salvation Army Transitional Housing Program. And this is a 212 apartment complex. And so part of the canvassing was going out and, letting people know, or just seeing if the people know that, this apartment complex was going to be closed, and that, some new developers were going to take it over. And they didn't. So many of them didn't know and didn't have a plan. But there is a meeting on Tuesday, August the 31st, where we'll meet with representatives not only from NOAA, but Stand Up Nashville, and what's the other group?
The Equity Alliance and the Labor Union too.
Right, for that. So that's the brief overview of our task force breakout.
All right, thank you. Criminal justice.
Here I am. Hi, I'm Jane, and I'm one of the co-chairs with Sean Witzel of the Criminal Justice Task Force. we spent our breakout session talking about our power mapping groups and explaining what progress each of the power mapping groups is working on. That's excessive force, which includes body and dash cams, as well as a new policy that the police department has on use of force. And even though the COB monitors those, we are also monitoring those and collaborating with the COB around those. Another power mapping group we have is called Mental Health Diversion, and that includes the proposal we have called HEALS. There's a team that's going to be attending a conference called Taking the Call that will be the precursor, hopefully, for how HEALS can get reorganized in terms of an actual implementation plan for 2022. So the team looks good. It has a police officer. It has somebody from the mental health co-op. It has somebody probably from Metro Social Services, from the mayor's office. So this team will attend a 2-day conference and try to understand just how that could actually work alongside of what the dual response team that the police already have. So that's a part of the mental health diversion. Then we have cash bail reform. You'll soon be seeing or getting a distributed survey distributed through either your congregation or through the NOAA website or through us, the Criminal Justice Task Force. This survey is about judicial candidates and how judges set bail and how people in Nashville feel about criminal court and general sessions judges, whether they're fair and how the bail that they set is or isn't fair. So we're hoping to get those done and out to people and get them back by November. And we would appreciate everyone's participation in that. We also appreciate Kim Lanier's getting our website content updated and looking good. And that's it for criminal justice. Thank you.
All right, thank you. At this time, we will ask for our economic equity and jobs.
Good evening, everybody. We are getting ready for Labor Day weekend. So we have on Saturday of that weekend, we have a parade that will be going through downtown, and NOAA is invited to come with us with labor unions and folks that work from around Middle Tennessee. Will be downtown meeting at the Cumberland Park on Saturday of Labor Day weekend. And you can go to the Central Labor Council Facebook page for more information around that. We are also, as a part of our task force, we are working with congregations and people of faith around the Middle Tennessee area and coming in that weekend and giving kind of sermons on faith and labor and that intersectionality, working with Reverend Francisco Garcia, and he is helping us come up with some language and some worship around that. We already have 5 NOAA members are part of it. So Congregation Micah and Reverend Garcia, if I forget any of these, holler at me. Congregation Micah is going to be a part of it. Downtown Pres, First Unitarian Universalist, St. Augustine's, and somebody else. I forgot the 5th one. Oh, and Edge Hill. Yeah. And Edge Hill are the 5 that have all confirmed that they will be having, as part of their worship service that weekend, a focus on that intersection of labor and faith. And so we're working to have some labor union members there. We would encourage you, we will be sending out information right before. Encourage any and all of you to join us that weekend. Many of these places have online components to watch the service. So we would love to have you on whatever day you worship to join in and to really take in that Labor Day is about labor and labor unions and all of us that work for a living and how faith intersects with that. So we just wanted to get that plug in now and to start thinking this year. We have 5, maybe a few more. Start thinking about your congregation and could we do something there next year to have this intertwined. So thank you.
Oh, thank you. Education Task Force.
Okay, here I am, I think, unmuted. So we have lots going on, but the biggest thing right now is our day of power and prayer for our children. And we hope many of you have already signed up, but we would really like to have some volunteers for the in-person portion at McKendree United Methodist this Sunday. So if you can volunteer to come, you know, check off people when they come in the door, count people because only 200 people can come in, and make sure people have masks, help people get to their seats. If you would be willing to come and do that on Sunday, please put your name in the chat to Brian Zaralik right now, because we will be really happy to see you. And if you are coming to McKendree, like I said, maximum 200 people, but hopefully we will have 200. You come, I'm going to tell you how to park, okay? You are going to come down 6th Avenue in between Church Street and Commerce downtown, and you're going to see a big sign up on the building on your left that says McKendree Parking. McKendree UMC owns this parking lot, but they don't manage it, so you got to listen to directions. If you pull up, you're going to head into the parking lot, and there's one of those arms in front of you. You will take a ticket, just like you are going to pay. You will not have to pay, but you take a ticket, the arm will raise up, and then you start driving through the parking lot. I think there are 4 levels: a red level, a yellow level, another color I forgot, and when you get to the purple level, you are at the right level, and there is actually a door that goes from the purple level right into McKendree United Methodist Church. Now, what will happen is when you get, if you stay the whole time of the program until 4 o'clock, when you get in your car to drive out, the arms will be raised and you will not have to pay, because the arms, there's nobody to pay. It's taken care of. However, be careful, because if you do try to sneak out early, that will not be the case and you will have to pay. So if you are thinking of sneaking out early, you will have to pay to get out of the parking lot. But all you do is take a ticket, come in, drive up to the purple level. You're right at the right place. And when it's time to go, parking is free. You do not pay. So thank you so much. We hope to see you Sunday, either online or hopefully at least some of you in person at McKendree. Thanks.
All right, thank you. Our integrated voters engagement and recruitment.
Good evening, everybody. This is Rutherford Overton. I'm one of the co-chairs of the Integrated Voter Engagement Working Group. I'm just coming with a huge ask, and that is we would love to have as many of you all as possible to join us on our meeting that we'll have on the August the 24th, the 4th Tuesday of this month, which is our general IVE meeting. And that's because we're really doing some really exciting things that we think are going to be very impactful for not only NOAA, but the communities that we serve. And right now, there's three areas in which we're focusing on. One, core teams. You all have heard a lot about core teams. Many of the organizations went through the core team training. We're getting good feedback from organizations currently who are trying to formulate their core teams. And we've already established, and I think we've shown that strong core teams can be sort of the backbone of the NOAA organization when it comes to mobilization. That training that we had a few weeks ago is actually was recorded. So if you were not able to attend the training, you would have an opportunity to watch the recording on it. And I would urge you to contact your member organization if you had somebody there at the core training and you're interested to find out more, to contact them, or either contact myself, or either Brian Zaralik with NOAA, and we can get you more information and get you linked up on the core teams. The other one is we're starting to talk about trying to execute a listening campaign. And we know that those are vital when it comes to going into communities, understanding their issues, needs, and concerns. We've identified maybe 3 areas, 3 neighborhoods rather, that we want to maybe look at trying to execute a listening campaign in. Those being the Antioch area, North Nashville, and East Nashville as well. So again, more to come on that, but we want people to be involved to help us to formulate an effective listening campaign so that we are able to really become more engaged with the communities that we're trying to serve. And then the other one would be after the Day of Power and Prayer, we're going to be looking at how we can help support the E&J efforts that Marlee just talked about in regards to the living wage project. So we may be making some calls or doing some other communication, mainly working through our core teams to see how we can better support that effort as well. So that's it from IVE.
Oh, thank you. And just before we have our evaluation from Mike, I do want to make a couple of announcements. Our Affordable Housing Task Force will not be meeting this coming Sunday because of our Day of Power and Prayer, and we'll make the announcement when the next meeting. And Liza, do you know when that meeting will, I mean, not Liza, the Education Task Force will, the Affordable Housing Task Force will make their next meeting for our affordable housing?
Reverend Thompson, I think it might be in September.
Oh, okay, then
we'll get in touch with people. Yes.
Oh, okay. And the next on our training, the mayor is now reassessing whether or not they will hold in person their next 2 meetings, the Intersaki and the Race and Power. One was scheduled for September, the other one for November, and they are reassessing. As soon as we get the ruling on that, we will let you know. At this time, Mike, we're going to ask if you will do the evaluation.
Thank you. I did want to just throw in a quick word for Shirley Marks and Kate Keese. Both of them attended the national leadership training that Gamaliel does, which was last week. It's a very intense kind of thing, but almost everyone that goes through it gets something great out of it. So if you got a minute, talk to Shirley Marks. In terms of our evaluation, everybody knows how this works. The first part of the evaluation is, what's the feeling that you're leaving the meeting with? And I want you to put that in the chat. Just put it in the chat. All right, Martha says rushed. Okay, anybody else? Inspired and motivated? Full, unfinished, energized, on track, ready, hopeful. All right, informed, informative, improved communication, informed. Honey, what is resound? What is that? I like it, but what is it? Could you tell us?
I am going to be steadfast in the things that I have to do, what I stand for, and where I need to help Noah move into the future.
Great. Okay. Thank you very much. And Martha, tell me about rushed.
Well, I think it's just right now I'm feeling rushed about all the Noah stuff because these developers are moving too fast and we just got to slow it down. So, felt rushed tonight too.
Okay. Avi, you're unfinished.
Yeah, we had some carryovers from a previous affordable housing meeting that we didn't get to talk about. So I felt like we didn't finish that business.
Okay, thank you. And Reverend Lester, excited?
Yes, excited about all that we have going on, all the challenges before us, and people stepping up to do the work.
Okay. All right. And let's see, last one, Irene, you said frustrated.
Yes, I guess again, with the housing meeting, just because there was so much, and I had a couple of questions and suggestions I wanted to see the possibilities of. And but
okay.
Excited about what we're doing, but also just wish the meeting could have been a bit longer.
Okay. The second piece you've moved us right into the second piece of the evaluation. Thank you. And that is, how did the meeting work? How did this meeting work for you? One of the things we looked at is, did we start on time? Yep, we always do. We're ending on time as long as I don't run my mouth too long, right? How did this meeting work for you? Did the agenda seem to work? Pat says too much. Pat McDonald says too much. Anybody else comment about how the meeting worked? You could also say if there was one really good point of the meeting, what would that be? And if there was one thing you'd like to change for next time, just put those things in the chat. Kim says it seems to be aligned with the agenda. Reverend Sephora said meeting worked well. Jane says smooth agenda, each item fit together. All right, anybody else? Good structure and flow, it's just a lot. Martha says, I think we could use chat more for all the questions. Yeah, the Affordable Housing Task Force had a lot of questions and we were, I assume that's what she's speaking of. The coordinating committee presentation was great. Can I hear some applause? Or at least see some, yes. All right, Jane says, I like Ron and Regina's graphics. No overview is great. All right. And Avi suggests start committees with where we left off at the last meeting. All right. And Honey says, I always enjoy the meetings. I'm thankful we have so many eyes watching so many issues. The third part of our agenda is tension, because if we're really going to be acting different afterwards, there has to be some kind of tension in the meeting. And occasionally, if there's negative tension, we'd rather know about it now than later on. So where was tension in this meeting? Wanda says she liked the instant poll. Okay, I don't guess that was tension. She's just putting in what she liked. Go ahead. Anybody else? Where was tension?
I think partly in how there's so much to do and what is the best approach in which to do it. And I guess I'm thinking about the affordable housing and all the people that were interviewed by the small group that went there and wondering about, what can we do to give them a space to talk and get some public notice from their stories?
Very good. So the tension of trying to make some of these things work, we know that more people need to be engaged in planning and dealing with affordable housing. How can we make that happen, particularly in their case? Ron says, such big challenges, can we sustain the energy? Need for more details on NOAA's functioning, looking at some bylaws that might need tweaking, pressure to show up and have a great event Sunday. Steve says, how do we support so many important initiatives and not be diffuse? That actually leads me into the fourth part of our evaluation, and that is the political learning. And as you know, that doesn't mean who you vote for or anything like that. It means how are we working in the city? How is NOAA working here? And the things that jumped to my mind was we're trying something new. We're working on a different level. We're working on the metro level, but we're starting to work on the state level also. And in order to do that, we've got to have a team. And we have a great team in NOAA. We're building a statewide team with Micah and with Caleb, but we've got to have a team that has different pieces. So everybody's not trying to do the same thing. That's one of the ways that we can walk and chew gum at the same time. Everybody's heard that example. We've got to be able to have different people doing different things, but we've got to be a solid team. So that would be my political learning, Reverend Thompson.
All right, thank you. Again, I want to thank everyone for coming tonight. I'm going to ask Reverend Garcia if he will close us in prayer.
Yes. Thank you, Reverend Thompson. Even as we hold the tension or the call, to respond to the fierce urgency of now, as Dr. King so eloquently said decades ago, it's also important to take stock of just the presence of God and to be present where we are and with who we are and to whom we belong. And so in that spirit, I'll close with a paraphrased prayer from my Episcopal Anglican tradition, from the New Zealand Book of Common Prayer for evening. Let us pray. Gracious God, it is night. The night is for stillness. Let us remember to be still in your presence this evening. It's night after a long day. What has been done has been done. What has not been done has not been done. Help us to let it be and to stay present in this moment. The night is dark. Let our fears just dwindle away and our anxieties of the world rest for a moment, and let us rest before you and your love. The night is quiet. Let the quietness of your peace enfold us, all dear to us, and all who have no peace this evening. The night brings the dawn. Let us look joyfully and expectantly to a new day, for new joys and new possibilities. In your holy, loving, and righteous name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Beautiful. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you.
Amen. Everyone be safe and be blessed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Good
all.
night.
Good night, everybody. Good night.
Good night.
Hey, Mike. You
Hey there,
muted.
Wanda. Hey, Wanda. I got your
I'm okay.
message. You wanted to get that presentation, right?
Yeah, yeah. I think
All right.
that'd be good to have as a reference, you know.
Well,
Just to know if they said we would get it or not.
right. I'll see about getting that. I'll get that for you.
Okay.
I've got to catch this phone call though.
Thanks.
Okay?
Gotcha.
Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks.